Hi Stampers, I'm Anna Helman. Thanks for being here. Have you ever created cards with just greeting stamps? I decided this would be a fun challenge to not use any other stamps, not use any printed paper, create cards with just plain paper and greeting stamps. I had a lot of fun with this. I'm going to show you some basic ones as well as some with some really fun techniques that you could create with any of the greetings in your stamp collection. Let's take a look at them. The stamps that I used on all of these cards has kind of this blocky look to the greetings here. You can see it. It's called Phrases for All. And I thought it was a nice set to do these techniques with because it has bigger greetings. Now they're not really big. Something like this would be really fun to do these techniques with because these are really nice large greetings. But I was challenging myself to see if I could create complete cards with these greetings. And I like that it had some of the large ones, but also some small ones to pair with them. So here is, I'll show you 5 that I've finished already here, and then the other 3 we will create together, and I'm really excited about the techniques I'm going to be using on them. I think you'll enjoy seeing them. So this one is very basic. I just stamped thank you all down the right side and popped this one up. Now, I know a lot of you out there, I hear from so many of you who are just starting your card making journey. So some of these really basic ones would be great to get started with. Here's one. I stamped thank you, and then I liked the stamp that says with all my heart, and I just decided to cut those pieces apart and pop them up down here. So there's another one. This one, I took the 3 of the small greetings, confetti and cake for your happy day, you're all kinds of amazing, let's pop some bubbly, and I stamped them repeatedly in the 3 colors going down the side of the card here, and then just popped up the happy birthday. I wanted to add some embellishments like some twine or some ribbon or some gems, and then I thought about adding some designer papers, and I thought, you know what? No, we're just using greetings. We're going to see what we can do just with greetings today. This one I thought turned out nicely. It's so simple, but I think it's a very nice card to send to someone. I just stamped thank you in 3 different colors across the back and then popped this one up and matted it. This one, here's where I started to want to start using some of my tools, and I used this really nice die set. It is called Darling Details, and it has all kinds of beautiful things in it, but I just love these detailed frames. Can you see all the detail on that? So anyway, I did that to highlight the greeting in the center, and then I stamped the greeting repeatedly around the outside in a lighter color so that it just would kind of fade into the background. So there's 5 I've already created. Now let's do some fun ones together. Here I have already attached this piece to my card base, very plain and simple as you can see, and I have stamped this a second time onto this piece of cardstock right here. What I'm going to do is use a circle punch, and you could use a circle punch or circle dies for this, but I am going to punch out a few pieces from this. And you have any guesses what I'm going to do with these once I'm done? We are going to use these and pop them up on the front of this card. So let's put a few dimensionals on the back so that they will pop up, and then I'm going to lay them on exactly where they line up with the one I stamped on the card. This is my Take Your Pick tool. I love this for lots of reasons. I use it for gems, applying gems to my projects more than anything, but it's very helpful for putting dimensionals on projects and removing the paper backing. Now let's flip these over and line them up where they line up. And this will be a little bit difficult for me since my camera is right in the way. But I thought this would be kind of a fun thing to do just for something different. wanting a lot more than normal to stamp things 2 times and then either die cut or punch one of them and pop it up on top of the other one, if that makes any sense. So just like that. So there we have 3 fun little circles popped up with that greeting in the background. So there is a 6th card. Now let's do, I'm debating which one to show you next. This one's kind of fun. This is a technique that has been around for who knows how long. If you've been making cards very long, I would imagine you've probably seen this. But this is called triple stamping. What I've done, I have 3 pieces of cardstock here and I've attached them very loosely with just a little bit of adhesive. Now, if you want the measurements for this, I will put them on my website. You can use the link in the video description below to go and get these measurements for this. I'll bring in 3 colors of card ink, 3 colors of ink. I have Crushed Curry, Pretty Peacock, and Parakeet Party. Now for this one, I'm going to use the Congrats stamp. And I am just going to start. You know what? Before I start, if you are doing this with rubber stamps, it works a little bit better. If you are doing it with the photopolymer stamps, if you have a foam pad like this, it may help to put it underneath and give it a little bit of cushion. What you'll see is right at the edges of these cardstock, I won't get a full stamp, which is okay. Actually, I'm going to put this one right in the middle. And yeah, anyway, the foam pad here helps a little bit to add a little bit of cushion so it stamps a little bit better on the corners, right there at the edges. So I'm going to stamp in the different colors. Congrats all over the place. Upside down, sideways. And then what you'll see after I get done with this, I have prepared matted layers, so we're going to add those layers in behind here. And the finished look of this type of card is just really fun. So we'll stamp Congrats a few more times. This is so pretty, this technique. I did this with poinsettias one time. I've done this with all different kinds of stamps, but you can get some really, really beautiful cards using this technique right here. I am just going to stamp the Crushed Curry right there in the center to hopefully help that stand out a little bit. And then we'll use these other colors on the other ones. Couple more. And now I'm debating if I want to pop up that Congrats in the center. I might. I actually prepared one of those. Now that I just remembered I prepared. Okay, so we have our stamping done. If you have a bigger image, a bigger greeting, this won't take as long. You won't have to stamp quite as many times. But now what you want to do is carefully detach these from each other. And I'll bring in my card base and my layers that I have prepared, and we can start putting this together. So I'll put the mat for the card base on first. And then we will bring in this other piece of Crushed Curry that I have cut just slightly larger than that next piece of white. So we'll put this on. You may want to attach the white pieces to your mats first before you place them on the card. This is what I've typically done in the past. Put the adhesive on my white piece and then attach it here to this. And then we'll put some adhesive on here, attach it to the card. And now I can decide if I want to, you just want to try and put this in the right spot so that everything lines up pretty well. Definitely doesn't have to be perfect by any means, but isn't that fun? I think this looks nice. When you start adding in flowers and other kinds of fun stamps, you can get some really, really neat cards with this. And since I have this prepared, do we want to go ahead and pop up the greeting? We'll go ahead and pop that up. So there is a fun card I created just with greeting stamps as well. Last but not least, I'm really excited to see how this card comes together. Here's my card base. I've stamped happy birthday onto it. And here I had stamped happy birthday a second time, and I cut this with one of the dies from the Patchwork Pieces die set. I have used this several times now, and I just love the cards that I have created with it. What I'm going to do for this one is remove every other piece. I'm going to take every other one. I'm going to leave every other one. Now, the way I'm doing this technique, it would make it perfect to be able to create a second version of this card when I get done using these leftover pieces right here. So you may be able to guess what we're going to be doing here, but I am going to put some dimensionals on the backs of these, and I'm actually using the half dimensionals from the edge of my sheet. If you use these dimensionals and you get to the edge and you have that basically like the extra around the edge, don't throw that away. Trim them into little pieces, and they're perfect for the smaller areas where you can't use the full-size dimensionals. So we'll pop these up. Let's remove all those paper backing pieces. I would love to know what you think about these cards. Are these way too plain? Are they perfect? Do you like them, but maybe you would add some printed papers, or maybe you would add some embellishments, or maybe you think they're great for cards for men? Tell me what you think in the comments. And this is where it gets fun. This is where we get to put this together and see how it turns out. So let's scoot these over just a touch and start attaching in the correct place. Over the correct letter would be ideal. I looked like I was going to put that in the wrong spot, didn't it? Happy. This must be the next one up here. This one looks like the H. So it's kind of going to look like a fun little happy birthday quilt, isn't it? So this is another fun technique you could do in a lot of ways besides just with these greetings. You could stamp something else. You could use printed paper and cut it and then pop it up on top. One more. And you can see this completed one. So really unique idea for you. Now I love the way this works with this die, but you could actually do this by trimming your pieces as well if you wanted to. Might get a little bit tedious, but that's another idea you could try. But here we go. All of these cards we created just with greetings and plain paper. So thanks so much for watching along. If you are interested in any of these products, I'll have links in the video description below that you can take a look at. Please like this video and subscribe if you're new here. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you'll be back again next time when I'll be here helping you to hand make with love.